Today, we're going to dive into a story that shows you just how chaotic things can get when fame, intense fandoms, and social media all collide. We're going to look at how a rumor, a totally baseless one that started over something as silly as a phone case, exploded into a full-blown, real-time harassment campaign against a huge pop star. And trust me, this is way more than just celebrity gossip. It's a look at how an online mob is born. So just imagine for a second you're a performer and you're doing a live stream to connect with your fans. It's your space, right? It's supposed to be positive. And then, bam, you see this comment, spammed over and over and over. This is a real comment from the incident, and it was basically the tip of the spear for the whole attack. It's hostile, it's accusatory, and it perfectly sets the stage for all the ugliness that came next.
And that really is the big, uncomfortable question here, isn't it? The people flooding this chat weren't just random trolls. A lot of them were fans of another group. So how does that passion for one artist get twisted into such vicious hate for another? What is it that flips that switch in someone's brain? Let's unpack what happened to try and figure that out.
Okay, so let's get right into the event itself. The story centers on a K-pop idol named Winter, who's a member of the super popular group aespa. She was the one who ended up right in the crosshairs of this whole campaign. Now, where this happened is so important. This wasn't on some anonymous forum or buried in a news article's comment section. It happened on Weverse, which is a platform literally designed for artists and fans to have these direct, positive interactions. During her own live stream, in a digital space that's meant for connection, her chat was completely hijacked and used as a weapon against her. So an attack this coordinated doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. There's always some kind of catalyst, right? Some piece of information that gets twisted and blown way out of proportion. And you're not going to believe this, but the tiny little seed for this entire firestorm was a phone accessory. And here are the two people at the center of it all. Winter from aespa and Jungkook from BTS. We're talking about two of the biggest names in music on the entire planet. The whole thing started with dating rumors, which, if you follow K-pop, you know is an absolutely explosive topic. These rumors had actually popped up months before and kind of faded away, but this time they came back with a vengeance. And right here, this is the thing that set it all off. In a lot of K-pop fandoms, there's this culture of hunting for couple items, you know, matching rings, hats, whatever, as proof that two idols are secretly dating. Well, the rumor mill went into overdrive when Jungkook was seen on a live stream with this specific phone case. Why? Because some fans insisted it was the exact same one Winter had been spotted with. And this is the giant, dangerous leap in logic that happened. On one hand, you have the claim being thrown around as if it's a fact. They have matching phone cases, so they're obviously in a relationship, case closed. But then you have the reality. Two famous people were seen at different times with a similar-looking, mass-produced product that anyone could buy. And it's in that massive gap between the claim and the reality that all this toxic speculation grew and was eventually used to justify the harassment. Okay, so we've got our fuel, this flimsy phone case rumor. Now let's get back to the scene of the crime, Winter's live stream. This is the moment where all that online chatter crossed a line and became a direct, real-time assault. Just try to picture her screen for a second. Winter is trying to talk to her fans, read their nice messages, but her chat feed just becomes this blur of accusations. It was a coordinated hate raid, basically, an effort to make sure the only thing she could see were these negative comments about Jungkook and this completely made-up dating rumor. I mean, the attack was so relentless and so shocking that other people who were just watching took to social media to talk about how horrified they were. This tweet really captures that feeling of just disbelief. It shows you this wasn't just a few mean comments. It was a non-stop, overwhelming flood of hate that was genuinely awful to witness. And it wasn't just people calling her an attention seeker. The chat was filled with straight-up, profane insults. The goal here wasn't to have a discussion. The goal was to hurt her, to intimidate her, and to try and force her to end her own live stream. It was a digital mob, and it had a very clear, very malicious purpose. But here's the part that is just incredible. Right in the middle of this digital firestorm, Winter's reaction was amazing. She didn't shut the stream down, she didn't lash out, she just stayed completely calm, smiled,
and kept on reading and responding to the positive comments from her actual supporters. The level of professionalism it takes to do that while under direct attack like this, it just shows you the immense pressure these idols are under.
But the harassers and Winter weren't the only people in this story. A third group popped up very quickly, and their reaction is a huge part of what happened. The fandom itself basically became a battlefield. As all those hate comments were pouring in, so were messages of support. Fans of aespa and even fans from other groups who were just appalled by what they were seeing started to fight back. They tried to drown out the hate with positive messages, they reported the abusive accounts, and they organized on other social media platforms to defend her. And you can really feel that sense of a civil war breaking out within the fandom, in quotes, like this one. It's this cry of frustration, not just at the people sending hate, but at how absurd the whole situation was. It shows a deep, deep divide between fans who use their platform to attack and those who use it to protect. And the core message from her defenders was really simple but powerful. They weren't just saying, leave her alone. They were calling for everyone to just return to some level of sanity. They kept bringing up the fact that this whole attack was based on literally nothing, a rumor that had already been debunked. They were demanding just basic human decency. So, after the dust settles, what are we left with? What does an incident like this actually teach us about the world we live in online? Let's zoom out from this one live stream and look at the bigger takeaways, what the true price of this kind of fame really is. This whole thing really gives us a crystal clear look at a few modern truths. First, those harmless online rumors, they have real victims. Winter is a real person who had to sit there and take a direct, public attack on her character. Second, it shows the terrifying speed and power of a digital mob. An attack like this can be organized in minutes. Third, and this is a really big one, fandoms are these incredibly complex things. They can be super toxic, but they can also have this powerful immune system where other fans step up to defend their own. And finally, it just highlights the insane pressure on public figures to just absorb this level of hate with a calm, professional smile. And that's the question this whole thing really leaves us with. When a rumor can spark a real-time hate campaign, whose job is it to stop it? Is it up to the social media platforms that give these conversations a home? Is it the entertainment companies that manage the artists? Or does that responsibility fall on the fans themselves to draw a line in the sand and decide that speculation, no matter how juicy it seems, can never, ever be an excuse for hate? There's no easy answer, but this incident proves it's a question we desperately need to start asking.